Welcome back. Today we're going to do a new feature which is called Fix It or Scrap It, which means that I'm going to swap the head out with the one that's not broken, put it all back together and try and start it, and if it doesn't start, I'm going to be really close to scrapping this car. Anyway, let's get started. Regarding automobiles, yeah. Okay, current state of things. I haven't touched the engine since the last video. I have cleaned up the other head that I have, sent to the machine shop, new valve guides, ground all the valves down so that I don't have to lap them. It got decked by a tiny bit just to make sure a nice surface, all cleaned up, checked for cracks and pressure leak checked, that type of thing. So the goal today is to just get that head out, or the goal for this video is to get the head out, existing one that has the crack in it, take the cam out of that, put it into the new head, put it back together. What I'm going to be doing then is essentially just a head gasket swap. So if you had a blown head gasket and you had to do that, that's what I'm going to be doing here, because I'm going to have to pull the head out. Now I'll be changing the head, but that's all I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be following the Mod Mini how to fix or replace your head gasket video. I'm hoping that I'm going to get some slight advantages from, I believe there's a couple of bolts that were studs with nuts and that I've replaced with full bolts. That should give me a slight advantage when I'm doing this to make it a little bit easier. But there's only one way to find out, which is to get started. You'll notice the bungee cord in this shot, and that's just to hold the timing chain onto the crank gears so it doesn't go out of time when I put the crank back in. And I marked the sprockets on the cam gear. Okay, head is out. Okay, good progress today. The head is out. I just now need to move the cam from the broken head to the good head, as well as the intake manifold studs will move over as well. And once that's done, I just reverse everything I did today, plus put the air box and everything back in. We should be good to go. So I'm done for the day, but let's keep the video going and I'll pick it up tomorrow. So one major positive thing here is that I'm going to be able to line this up with the new head. The exhaust, I don't know if you remember, but one of the holes wasn't quite right. So I'll be able to line it up with the new head and sort of Dremel out to make sure the bolt can go in so I can get all the bolts on. So that's good. Okay, new day. Today I'm gonna sit here in a thunderstorm, obviously. But today I'm going to put the header on to the head here and just check for the alignment, because this one, it wasn't lined up properly. So just do that first, and then we'll start actually transferring the things over and rebuilding this head. Okay, all the valve springs are back in, so the guides, the valve springs are all in. Now we can put the cam back in, and I guess the journals or whatever, the clamps that keep it on, and the rocker arms. I think I might do that tomorrow, but for you it'll be right now. So just before I take this apart for the final time, this is the old broken head, and that's where it broke, right there. Just a chunk fell off the bottom. That's why we're doing this video. All right, time for more time lapse. Okay, so today I'm just gonna take the header and cut a little bit of the hole out so that it can, because before, if you remember, we had to leave one bolt out. So extra bonus to this happening is that I'll just Dremel it out a bit, and there should be room to put all the bolts in. Okay, assembly day. You've seen me do this before, so I'm just gonna put it all back together the way I had it. So let's get to it. Okay, so the head is back in. Okay, I did my best so that when I put the head on, that the tool would go back on, so I could tighten the cam sprocket back in. Now I just need to figure out how to make sure it's in line. So the timing hasn't changed on the bottom, and I marked the top, so I'm gonna try and get it back in. I'm not really sure if I should, I guess I'm gonna have to turn the engine to make it line up perfectly, but we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, so the angle's a little off, but those three were marking the black. And then I actually put a mark on here, a mark right there, and another one right here. So yeah, thankfully I read the guide to put that at 11 o'clock before putting it back in, and yeah, no problems putting it back in time. I was dreading getting it back in time, so I'm gonna tighten the sprocket back on, then put the rails back in, then put the tensioner back on, and then just put it all back together. So this is the temperature sensor that gave me all the problems before. You can see it has, like, I don't know if it's thread locker or something to stop fluid from flowing through it. In any case, it's only 17 foot-pounds to put that on. So I'm gonna put that on now, make sure not to over torque it at all. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't cause any problems this time. That is not a lot. Okay. Okay, so confession time is, I think, like, I'm seeing that sensor in there, and I felt what 17 was. And last time, I think I put it in with the torque wrench, but then that was way later. I was like, oh, it's leaking, I'll just tighten it. And I was probably put too much pressure on it. So all of this is probably just a huge mistake on my part, which broke the other head. Anyway, bygones. Okay, here's the current state of things. Just the intercooler to go on next, and I got something special lined up for that. Okay, not content to just rebuild it the way I had it. When I was on the site looking for my new valve guides, I saw this bad boy. It was a good deal. I think it was from Summit Racing. New intercooler. Black, obviously, because it's faster. All right, so compare it to the original in size. It's actually thicker as well. So I'll have to figure out how to get this on, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, it is back together. The only thing I obviously need to replace is the coolant. I'm gonna put some in just for the first start and run it through and then drain it again. just because even though I vacuumed out, even all the cooling ports on the engine, I vacuumed them all out. Just wanted to make sure there's no little metal bits in there. The oil should be good, but I'll check it again. Yeah, I think we're ready. Now I'm gonna do something now that's a little counterintuitive to a lot of you, because I could probably just put coolant in it and start it right now, which is I'm gonna sleep on it tonight. And just make sure there's nothing that comes to me tomorrow being like, oh my God, I forgot the blank. And also tomorrow I'm gonna have some extra eyes here. Spirit Pseudo will be here just to help out, see if anything goes wrong. But yeah, I think it's prudent, and I've waited this long, so waiting one more day is not a big deal. So tonight I'm just gonna hook the coolant back up, fill the coolant back up, and then yeah, we'll get to it tomorrow. And I mean, for you, it'll be right now. So let's go see what happens tomorrow. Well, I am the dumbest man alive. So I just filled it back up with coolant, and lo and behold, coolant leak. In a very similar spot to last time. I mean, it's a whole new head, new sensor, everything. So I thought maybe it's the thermostat housing, like it's cracked or something, or I actually had an extra gasket, so I was like, I'm gonna replace the gasket. And then I realized that in the thermostat housing, I had put the gasket into the housing and then put the thermostat behind it and pushed it in. That's not how you do it. I pulled it all apart, and as soon as it came out as two pieces, I realized that I had forgotten to, there's a groove down the middle of these, and it's actually supposed to be like this, which probably means that I never had a coolant leak in the first place, which means we didn't have to try and get that sensor out, which means didn't have to break the head, which means the car should have been running. Now, I'm gonna put this back in, and if it still leaks coolant, I'm gonna lose my mind. But let's put it in and see what happens. That fixed it. Fiddlesticks. I mean, this is good news, but God, I feel stupid. Okay, now the overnight break makes a lot more sense, so get back to this tomorrow. It is the next day. I've got the engine back together. I've got no leaks. It's full of fluids. And I've got the key. Today we're gonna start it. Okay, so we're ready to start it. What to expect? Lots of smoke, I think at first, or steam. Spirit Pseudo is here. to help out, keep an eye on things. Here's the plan. Pull the coil, and this is all going by Mod Mini's video. Pull the coil pack, connector, crank for a bit, get some oil into the system, put the coil back on, start it up. No problem, right? So let's get to it. Oh, and there's a fire extinguisher right there.
It's pretty small.
It'll put out most fires.
I'm not gonna need that.
Okay, so unplug this. The gas is the original gas. Is that gonna be okay?
Probably not. How many years old is that?
2, 3 years old.
I'm sure it'll fire. How full is it?
Let me check. Because I could always top it up with. I have some like 91 that I use in my like just from my mower and stuff. Oil's in. Oh my God. Why? I don't know how to turn this off. There we go.
What is that flashing light?
Oh, washer fluid.
There's a light on your stock?
Yeah, I guess maybe when the washer fluid's out. Okay, so yeah, trunk open. These are all gonna be on anyway. I have 3/4 of a tank.
Yeah. Put a little bit is not gonna help.
Yeah, okay.
So unless you want to drain it.
I don't. All right, so I'm gonna crank it here.
Okay.
And nothing happened. Okay, forgot to put the clutch in.
It's still fuel, it's getting fuel.
Okay, so yeah, I want to put the coil pack back in there.
Getting fuel, I didn't see any terrible leaks.
Yeah, that's good.
Ready?
Nope. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna leave that open because I have to bail out and it explodes.
Quick look around for leaks.
What's that?
Let's just have a quick look around for leaks or anything.
Yep.
Ooh.
Nothing obviously dripping.
No idea. Where's your plastic?
Yeah, there should be one right there. Yeah. Sit right there. Okay, that's smoke off the exhaust. That's fine.
Yep, that's off your super carcinogenic smoke for us.
Yeah.
No leaks of the coolant spots. You should probably look at those hoses that you made. I don't know what they are.
Yeah. Okay. Just gonna put my face right in the cancer. So they're not leaking there. And it would be, it's hard to tell, but okay, I can see one of them. And there's no obvious leaks coming from it.
I don't see anything down here. You may want to take a look. You can see a pretty good shot of the side of the engine there.
I mean, if they're leaking, it would be right in the middle. Like they're right at the bottom, so they would be dripping.
Well, yeah, I got a good view here too.
Yeah.
All right, you want to let it get up to temp?
Sure.
Here, look at that.
Yeah. All right. A little bit of a longer run now. I spilled a lot of coolant, so I think that's what we're seeing here, the big smoke screen.
Where'd you get that wrap?
What's that?
Where'd you get that wrap?
Amazon. But the thing is, I spilled a shitload of coolant on it.
I mean, it looks good, but you can't, like, it's so loud you can't hear.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure everything sounds okay, like pressure, oil pressure is good.
Yeah, it's off. Yeah.
Should that burn off a bit? Yeah, that's good. I mean, not a drop anymore. Fired first shot, man. Yeah!
Yeah. I don't even know how to feel. Like it's just.
No leaks, nothing.
Yeah.
Get the exhaust and be doing donuts.
Yeah. Want a beer? Well, it's been a long journey, but that is one running 2006 Mini Cooper S. Very happy, very relieved. I'm still trying to figure out how to feel about this, but it is happy, overall happy. So now I just need to put the bumper back on, get the exhaust somehow fitted up there at a shop or something, put the wheels back on, and yeah, we'll be good to go. So yeah, that's a big, long 2.5, 3 year journey to get this thing back running again. Thank you all for watching and cheering me on. The positive comments in the, positive feedback in the comments really helped me out. Thank you to Spirit Pseudo for always being the person that I can reach out to and ask questions to. And thanks to Mod Mini, followed his videos the whole way. I'll probably be going on one of his videos and hitting one of those thank you buttons and see if I can buy him a bottle of whiskey or something. So if you've been with me this whole time, thanks for watching. I'm super happy. This is just the beginning of the journey. Once we get it running, then we can start the fun stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.